Okay, so let's talk about something for a minute. What do online tutoring business owners do in the summer? I mean, after all, aren't most of the students that online tutors have, aren't they, off of school? Not exactly.
Now, many tutors will work less and travel more. They'll enjoy more leisure activities like concerts, family gatherings, or beach trips, while others, like me, will tutor students who have summer reading assignments.
The reality is that those rigid summer schedules are now over, so students have time during the day to learn, and that means morning hours, which a lot of tutors really prefer to have. I think it's fun to use the summer time to catch up, but it's also maybe a little bit more invigorating just because you're getting to learn without the pressure of all those other classes and all those other teachers reminding you of what to do. Because yes, we're going to have some time off and have fun, but honestly, getting to teach outside and the warmer weather, getting to maybe teach from another location, that's really invigorating. We have this very traditional, almost arbitrary belief that you can only learn 8 months, 9 months, maybe 10 months out of the year, and then you take that summer break. Well, I do believe in breaks, most definitely, but there's this thing that tutors like to talk about, and regular classroom teachers talk about it too, and it's called the summer slide. Comment below if you know what the summer slide is. It happens. It definitely happened to me in math. That's why I'm so thankful that PEZ Tutoring offers math now, because my husband is an excellent math teacher and he is already helping students right now fill in some gaps that maybe they missed. Maybe they didn't do so hot during the school year, and now some students are using just a few days this summer to catch up. Other kids are assigned summer reading and they know that they will never actually read that book by themselves. So I'm here to help motivate them and really help, since I'm really great with middle school and high school literature and reading comprehension. For example, this one is just for me for fun. Unfortunately, nobody else is reading Narnia at the moment, but let's talk about Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. One of my students has to read this, and I'm so excited because it's a contemporary novel, and my dad actually recommended this author to me, and so now I actually have a reason to read this book, and it's nonfiction. It talks about business. My student's not exactly as excited about this book as I am, but the cool thing is her family actually owns a business. She has an older sibling who's becoming a real estate agent, and she works in the family restaurant business, so reading a book like this just makes it all the better. She has me to help drive the explanation along. She also has a real world experience, or at least she's beginning to see that, and it's great. And she's going into 10th grade next year. This, let me tell you, it's actually pretty entertaining, but I'm not a big fan of tragedies. I am pretty good at explaining the story though, not gonna lie. I think I am. And you know why? It's because I had experience in the classroom first. Like, if I hadn't done that, I don't think I would be able to explain it as well as I can now, because I just had it, like, that experience with other students. If you're an English teacher or literature teacher, you probably know that this No Fear Shakespeare at least allows some parallel text, which means you can read the original text, which everyone says is more eloquent and it's how it was meant to be understood. It's how it was meant to be performed on stage. But then you have translation just to help make it more clear, and thank goodness for that, because I do respect the original text, but I prefer to read from the translated version. Don't hate me if you don't agree. If your student, if your child has to read Shakespeare and they're totally lost, definitely contact me, because I have figured it out over the years, and it's not easy, but it can be more fun if you have a tutor to guide you along. I gotta say, it's a summer of great books and I'm thrilled about it. So this is actually like my favorite book of all time. I love stories about exploration, especially when it comes to Antarctica. Like, exploring the vast icy continent is so fascinating to me. And so one of my homeschool students, actually, he has a very high reading level, and so I'm like, I think you can understand this, but I would never recommend this book to him by himself. I've created some activities to help him, and it's all about Shackleton's voyage, how in the 19 teens, what is it? It's all about one of the very first ever voyages to Antarctica. This was without internet technology. This crew almost didn't survive. If you haven't heard about this book, I highly recommend you go look it up. I've actually had this book since I was a kid, and I was so excited to hear that one of my private school students is actually going to be reading this book this summer, and I thought, I really need to re-explore. This book is talking about the ending of World War I, and it phases into World War II and the changes that this family goes through. Really emotional stuff, but I find that students really learn a lot of important life lessons just by talking about this time period. And actually, I think the story, just because it focuses on one family and they're from the outside of Amsterdam, there's a lot going on that I think is hard to read. It's hard to really capture if you're just a student reading this by yourself. Even me as an adult reader, when I read some books, I might just, if I'm reading for fun, I might miss a few details, but getting to read it with a student really allows you to spend more time in depth, really talking about all the nuances, all the vocabulary, and it gives you a chance to talk about real life stories and to figure out who in the book relates to me, or what can I learn from the protagonist of the book, or what mistakes are they making, how would I have reacted in the situations that happened here. I might need to apologize for the noise. My math teacher is currently teaching. We often teach at the same time, and there's just really no sound barrier in this house. Sound just carries, and I'm still proud of him for teaching math in the summer though. If you are an online tutor and you're interested in figuring out how to organize all your digital files and lesson plans and such, whether it be summer or another time of year, go ahead and click on the link below. This is going to take you to our digital decluttering club for online entrepreneurs. That's a whole new community I'm starting and that I'm really excited about, because I found that we all need help clearing out our digital files, clearing out old social media posts and student information and business files. How do we keep track of all of our stuff? An online business means we've got everything on our computers. How do we learn to manage it? I've got a mind map that can help you get started for free if you'll just click on the link below. Find me. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.